We're the Silverbirds, and this is Ross's Wish.
I learned that there's so much more to rides than just the actual ride itself. I learned that there's sounds, there's visuals, there's animatronics, there's story that these rides can tell. And I never really realized that a really good ride is not just the layout, but it's everything else.
Here we are in, we like to call this sometimes our one-of-a-kind shop, because a lot of the ththings we do in here are really one-of-a-kind. This is Linguini from Ratatouille. You probably saw Ratatouille, right? Yeah, you probably remember the scene where Remy is underneath on his head, steering him by pulling on his hair or whatever. This was for an animated window. And they said, well, you know, maybe we'll have him be very tentative, just stick his hands out and just like he doesn't really know what he's doing. We thought, well, that doesn't sound like too much fun, and it sounds really complicated and hard to do. So what we did instead is we came up with this kind of simpler mechanism where it looks like he's just like totally out of control for every moment. And if you can imagine this with a set floor and you don't see any of this, you know, you'd probably be kind of mystified about how it all works. Get to blow some cobwebs. Yes. So I gotta maybe show you a little bit about how to do it. It's actually, air's coming out of here, and actually once you squeeze the trigger, cobwebs. So you might want to move up a little closer.
That's so smart.
Yeah, and look at how realistic they look.
It looks realistic.
You don't really have to really do much of anything except for pull the trigger. It's Captain Squawk. Originally, he was outside of the Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney World, singing "Yo ho, yo ho, pirate's life for me." Ahoy, mateys! I be Captain Squawk. Would you like to mess around with Captain Squawk and make him talk?
Hello, mateys.
Hey, that's pretty good. You're hired.
Ross's Wish was about rides, and I happen to be the creative director for the Incredicoaster, which is one of his favorites. So for me, I got to show him my office, some of the things that I did on the Incredicoaster, and of course show him some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. It was actually really, really fun. He is so excited and passionate about just straight-up roller coasters. He knows who makes them, when they were built, which parks they're in, which countries they're in. He probably knows more about roller coasters than I do at this point, which is saying something. I think that he has a pretty great future ahead of him as a ride engineer.
It's got a thingy in front of it, and then it has a bumper, because we don't want to crash into other stuff, right?
Put the humans in it.
And then you want to draw the track on there?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. What about Baby Jack Jack? I gotta work on that.
Knowing that Ross's wish was to meet an Imagineer and specifically talk about how to do roller coaster design, we set him up with this great little tour of our ride engineering studio, and we talked to him about roller coaster design, how it's driven by story here at Imagineering, and we allowed him to even operate an actual roller coaster. Now, it was a model of a roller coaster, but the control system was the actual control system and operator control panel that our operators use in our parks, and he was thrilled to operate a roller coaster.
So you're looking at the controller coaster. So this is a demonstration of how a real ride would work. You know, this is the control system that keeps it running. This is the computer down here that's basically mining all this and mining everything. You actually see on this screen, basically tells you where the trees are. And then this panel is much like you'd see in the station on a real road bus. You see operators pushing buttons at the consoles. That's a miniature version of that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So this is how all these rides work that I love.
For safety, make sure you pull down on the shoulder restraints on the blocks in place. Keep your head fully against.
You ready? Yes. Or like high five. Can you repeat? Okay, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
feel good, energized. It felt much better in reality, I'll say that.
I need one more